2,700 pounds, dynamics honed on the rallycross circuit, and the shortest of gear ratios, the Ford Fiesta ST is definitely a top competitor in the hot hatch segment. And when you consider a used Fiesta ST with under 10,000 miles is around $15,000, it's a used car bargain as well as a back road weapon. But then again, there's another performance hot hatch that's very well respected, and it comes actually from Ford Performance itself. Yes, it's the fast as hell Ford Focus ST. The Focus ST is rolling into this competition with more power, more space, and a more luxurious interior. But does that mean necessarily that it's the better ST products? Well, we're on a fantastic mountain road in Vermont. We're going to find out. It's immediately clear that these two cars are related when you line them up side by side and start looking at all the little styling touches. There's lots of similar shapes and lines from the front fascia to the wheels. The Focus has more conventional proportions while the Fiesta takes a more understated approach. The front and rear valances have been upgraded, as have the side skirts and the wheels for a performance look that only a true enthusiast will notice. The interior remains mostly unchanged from a base level Fiesta. There are, however, a few little styling touches that will set it apart, such as the steering wheel, shift knob, and seats. Even these base seats are an upgrade from lower level models, and there's an option for Recaros should you choose the upgrade, which, let's be honest here, you probably should. The Focus interior is definitely an upgrade. There's softer, higher quality materials throughout, and some cool distinguishing touches like this really neat gauge pod on top of the dashboard. This one is also sporting these fantastic Recaro seats, which are both supportive during hard cornering and comfortable when driving normally. The Focus has had the same exterior treatment as the Fiesta, and even when it's not finished in this rather striking color of tangerine screen, it looks more aggressive than its little brother. You decide for yourself which one you think looks better, but let's take it out on the road, and we'll see how they compare there. So I should explain the mods that I've done to this car. This car is not completely stock. It has a Mountoon MP215 package on it, which is basically just an access port with a tune and a different airbox and that kind of stuff. So really nothing major. It gives it about 20 more horsepower, 30 more torque. Nothing major. I've put some Firestone Firehawk Indy tires on it, so it just handles a little bit better. It's got a short shifter on it, Mountoon quick shift with some cob bushings. Bunch of little things. Mountoon rear motor mount. So really this feels very similar to just a stock Fiesta ST that you can go and buy. And of course you can buy one of these for not that much money. A Fiesta ST with under 10,000 miles on it, it's a $15,000 car, and for $15,000 that really is quite a bargain. Okay, so dynamically you really feel how light this car is. 2,700 pounds is not a heavy car, and as a result this thing just is super mobile. It has really quick turn in, and it rotates really well for a front wheel drive car, especially you come in, pop off the gas, it'll lift off oversteer, which of course is one of the most fun things a human being can do. And the power is definitely lacking from the Focus, but it's not like it's underpowered. It certainly rips, especially with the Mountoon MP215 package I have on this one. That torque vectoring too will just pull you out of a corner. You just mat it mid-corner. You'd be amazed without a limited slip diff what Ford has allowed this thing to do. Yeah, there's a little bit of scrabble coming out, but really not that much when you consider how much power you're putting through these front wheels and how tight some of these corners are. But the other thing you really notice with this car in the corners is you really notice that it has tremendous grip. You'd really be surprised how fast you can take a corner in this car. Obviously, you can pop off the gas and give it some lift-off oversteer, but understeer is very well controlled, especially with the Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s I have on this car. This car will go really fast through some really tight technical corners. So the steering is electrically power assisted, so I know what you're thinking. It probably feels very numb. That's the really impressive thing. This car has a lot of feeling through the steering wheel. It's definitely no, BMW hydraulically assisted rack. It's pretty light, but it loads up really nicely, and you really can feel the road surface through it. So as I said, it weighs 2,700 pounds and is definitely not a heavy car. And that's really one of the big things you notice when you get out of the Focus and into this. This car just is a lot lighter. It doesn't weigh nearly as much, and you can really feel that, especially when you turn into a corner. The car deals with its weight much better. So the ride in this car is a little stiff. I actually really like it. I don't find it to be too stiff for long journeys. Some people think the car's too stiff. I definitely drive one. If you're planning on doing a lot of road trips in the car, drive one, try out the seats, because it's definitely stiff and it's a little bouncy, especially like at low speeds. I don't have a problem with it. The brakes are excellent for a car like this. A lot of confidence. They got great initial bite. Come into a corner and you know that you're going to have the stopping power to slow down enough so that you don't understeer into a tree. Perfect car for a back road like this. Man, what's so fun about this thing is I'm floored, rolling through the gears. The gear ratios are super short, and I'm not really going that fast. God, that steering, man. Oh, so good. Rolling on the Focus. There's more power. There's just more power. That's the first thing you really notice. Basically just that this car is absolutely way faster than the Fiesta. There's very little turbo lag. It's there, but it's not as pronounced as some other cars that I've driven. Mark 7 GTI is more turbo lag than this does. Granted, this car does have an access port with a Mountain Tune mapping on it, but I drove it stock, and even still, it does have less turbo lag than some of the other cars out there, which is kind of nice. There's power everywhere, and there's a lot of power. This one also has a Borla catback exhaust on it, which means it sounds awesome. Into the twisties. How does the Focus compare to the Fiesta when the road starts to squiggle? Well, one of the first things you notice when you start pushing it hard down a back road is there's definitely more weight than there was in the little Fiesta. That said, it doesn't feel heavy by car standards. It's not a heavy car. It's about 3,200 pounds. But that is a lot heavier than the Fiesta ST. I mean, the Fiesta ST is about 500 pounds lighter. You do feel that when you switch between the two cars. Gear ratios are definitely longer. There's less shifting needed. Turn-in is not quite as immediate, but it's very good. It's very, very good. Torque vectoring does a really nice job. I was expecting a lot more torque steer, and this one's making more power, and you exit a corner, there's honestly not that much. If the surface is uneven, or you're like second gear at a full out hairpin, yeah, there's torque steer, but there is in the Fiesta too. I'm really impressed at how little torque steer there is in this car. It actually does have a very nice rotation to it, and it will, oh man, it does have some good liftoff. So the ride is actually very nice, a lot more refined than the Fiesta, a lot more refined. And it's very comfortable, and it really doesn't sacrifice that much in handling. It's not quite as lively as the Fiesta, but it is more stable. I'll give it that. It's a better high-speed car than the little Fiesta. Yeah, I must say, the more I drive this car, the more I actually really like it. in many ways it's hard to compare it to the Fiesta because it just does a different thing, and it does it really, really well. I'll tell you what, for what this car costs, I mean, you can get a really nice one of these. This one is immaculate, it's perfect, and the owner paid around $16,000 for it, and it's a lot of car for $16,000. It's a very, very fast car. No one's ever going to get in this and say, oh, it's slow. And the fact that it deals with its torque steer this well is really impressive. And damn, this thing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Seriously though, who says you can't have fun in a front-wheel drive car? Both of these cars are an absolute riot, from your favorite back road to a track day or even your daily commute. They both do very different things, and both are among the very best at what they do. The Focus offers amazing power for a car in this segment, and trust me, you will never get tired of the immense kick that torque will give you every time you lean into that throttle pedal. It has excellent stability both in the corners and at high speed, and not to mention a higher quality interior. At the other end of the spectrum, that Fiesta ST is unmatched when the road gets technical. Its lively handling and low weight make it the ultimate road-going rally car. I personally prefer the Fiesta, which is why, after I drove both of them, I went out and bought this exact Fiesta ST 6 months ago. The Focus is a more versatile car for more situations, and before you buy one, I highly recommend driving the other to see which one you prefer. They both do very different things, but which one aligns with you? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.